All right, today I'm going to do something a little different. I am going to be drawing a little picture here, and I've got you here to watch what I do. I've been participating in Inktober this year, and I am just wanting to do my next Inktober drawing. Today's prompt is Husky, which I'm going to attempt to draw an actual Husky dog, which is a bit of a challenge for me. I've never done that before, but I have been trying to challenge myself as part of this Inktober, not just to draw things, but to draw things that I am not sure I'm going to be able to do. And this is going to be an interesting experiment because right now your field of view is between mine and the paper. So I can sort of look around the phone to take a look at the paper, or I can look at the actual screen and check from there. But frankly, it is going to be interesting. I also have to be careful to work my way around the charging cable and the lights that I have set up so that I don't knock them over. Yeah, because right now, I know you can't really tell, but I have a lot of light going here. I don't need this much to draw, but there was too much shadow on the screen when I did my test earlier. So we're going to give this a shot and see what happens. I've got a reference photo of a husky, happy looking husky I'm looking at right now. And I'm going to try and duplicate basically his face. I'm going to get a little creative for the body, but I really want as close of a likeness to that happy husky as I can get. Ears are not really straight. There's a bit of an outcropping and then going back in right there. All right. I got to tell you, I'm nervous about this, and having you along for the ride makes me a little bit more nervous. Not a super great artist. I do enjoy drawing. I tend to think that I have about the artistic level of a somebody who does comics in the Sunday paper. So I mean, there's some of those that are really good, but I'm talking more like Jim Davis, Charles Schultz, the ones that stick to fairly simple looking characters. That ear's way bigger than the other one. And this one is pretty straightforward. It doesn't have all that dimensionality that this one does. This one looks like it's 3 parts. This one is pretty straight. I've got that a little too round. I know it's Inktober and I'm using a pencil, but Inktober, the rules say you can use a pencil as long as the final result is in ink. I did look that up. Because if it were just ink and no pencil allowed, I would have given that a shot. Would have been less confident about putting it on the internet as a live view. Well, not a live, this isn't a live stream, but you know what I mean. I was filming it and put it on the internet. Now, in terms of what I like to use when I'm doing artwork, wow, this face shape is getting way too bunny-like, but hopefully in the end it will work out. That's more like it. Need more of a rounding there. Let's bring this out a little sooner. There we go. That's a little better. Yeah, in terms of what I like to use for drawing equipment, I like mechanical pencils. I usually use Bics because they're cheap. I really like the old style Bic with the black body instead of the new crystal ones they have with the clear outside. I still have some of these left. that I have managed to save for years. I do, however, use the crystal ones. Yeah, I always got to pull some out, but I actually have all my lighting and everything in between me and the pencil box, so I don't want to knock those over. So yeah, I also am very fond of the Sharpie pen, fine point. As you can see, very, very, very thin point. See if I can get that to focus better. There we go. That's what I like. I like a fine point. It's also why I like the mechanical pencils. It stays so fine. Regular pencils, I'd sharpen it to a beautiful fine point, and then about halfway through what I was drawing, I'd have to sharpen again, and sharpen again, sharpen again. And it was really kind of annoying. So, all right, so this is going to have a little bit of a Widow Speaky thing going on. Don't go away, reference pick. Sorry, I've got it on my laptop, which is going to sleep right now. Wish it wouldn't do that. The timing is bad. Your timing is bad, and you should feel bad. All right, so I know you're thinking, hey, you've got a laptop. I thought you said you didn't have a computer to do editing on. Well, this is my old laptop. It runs on Windows XP, and it is just not recent enough to be practical for much of anything. I can use it to browse the internet, and I can use it as a word processor, but that is about it. I mean, that still has some use for me. I am planning on participating in NaNoWriMo this year. That is National Novel Writers. National Novel Writing Month, which is next month. I don't really expect to write a novel I'm going to try to publish or anything, but I am going to, just do some writing for fun kind of thing. It's like, participating in the Inktober right now. I'm really, I'm not going to sell these or anything like that. I am just enjoying what I'm doing. And there's something to be said for that. As you can see, this is starting to look a little more like a dog and less like a bunny. I got a little bit of a tongue going here. And little canines. A little bit of a tooth there. A little bit of a tooth over here. All right. There we go. And this good boy's going to have some happy eyes. See, if I actually were drawing a bunny, I'd probably do bigger eyes. Make it look a little more cartoony. I always get to this point with eyes where I draw one eye I'm happy with, and then I got to draw one that matches it, and it is not as easy as it should be. Sometimes I just can't quite get there. Looking a little off. But I think I'm going to keep it. Doesn't have to be perfect. In the immortal words of Mr. Rogers, I'm not very good at it, but that's okay. Yeah. For my NaNoWriMo, I would like to somehow do something of a video, but I really have no idea how I'm going to do that. I don't think you guys are just going to want to sit here and watch me type. But, you know, it'd be interesting to kill two birds with one stone. Another thought I had is doing some sort of video challenge month. As far as I know, no organized thing like that exists. If any of you know of one, please tell me about it in the comments. I need to move this ear over a little bit. It's too bad because I really liked it. But I am thinking that there is a month, I believe it's January, where it's sort of the end of YouTube's ad cycle. And so a lot of the big name YouTubers kind of take a wee bit of a vacation. See, I liked it so much better before. Yeah. Perfect is the enemy of complete. So, still want to give it a little bit of, yeah, there we go. I get this little thing on his face there. All right, so that's the basic head shape I want. But yeah, as far as I know, there isn't a organized event like that, like there is for writing in November and drawing in October. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. What is he doing? Oh, just wait and see. See, I want to do him, I want to draw him in some sort of, well, he's going to be anthropomorphic, but I want the head to be basically dog. And I don't want him to be too human. I want him to be cartoonish. You know, cartoonish anthropomorphism. I think maybe I've made him a little too slender. Maybe make him a little more chunky. But I want to make him in some sort of suit. Unfortunately, I haven't really come up with a solid plan for that yet. Maybe, you know, some sort of space age armor or, space suit or something. Let's bring that there. Let the head stick out past the end a little bit. Make it actually look like the guy's got a neck. All right, happy little neck. Every neck deserves a friend. Oh, sorry about that. I hope I'm not giving anybody motion sickness. All right. Get a little more in frame there. Okay, so I don't know. Kind of wanted to give him a jetpack, but I think I'm a little too straight on to be able to draw that well. So we got an arm there. A little bit of an arm going on over here. So yeah, I'm just sort of playing around with this. It would be really funny to just make this basically rounded out and then just put a little boop with a paw and make it look like, you know, somebody stood a corgi up on its hind legs. But no, I really want to make it, you know, semi-anthropomorphic. I like to work with pencil to start with, and I like to just be kind of light and sketchy with my lines like this, because I like to play around with ideas, see how they look. And that way I don't mess up the paper too much. Oh, that's another thing, talking about paper. I like paper with a little bit of a grain to it. I don't like it too smooth. I mean, I'll draw on just about anything. I use printer paper a lot, but yeah. Maybe we can give him a little control panel type thingy on the chest. Yeah, not bad. So yeah, going back to the month of videos thing, there is a month, I want to say it's January, where it's the end of the YouTube ad revenue cycle. And so a lot of the creators have already, like the month before, have put out some of their best work. And then that month kind of take a break. And either they don't upload as much, or they upload kind of less substantial projects, things that don't require as much effort. It's almost like all the major YouTubers are taking their vacation at the same time. And so that makes me think that while the cat's away, this mouse should play. You know, my YouTube audience right now, I have, I believe, 6 subscribers as of yesterday. And, you know, that's cool, don't get me wrong, but it would be really cool to one day have that silver play button. And so, yeah, one just likes to be little. This is not really looking like what I wanted it to. I kind of wanted it to look like he's wearing those old school pilot pants. Had the big flaps on the side. Not pilot. What am I looking for? Like Patton wore. Where they go out. Oh, yeah, there you go. Bumping the camera out again. Hope not giving anybody motion sickness. But yeah, so I thought maybe that would be a good time to put out a lot of content because, you know, people will be, it's not like people don't watch YouTube as much that month. You're going to have just as many people on YouTube looking for videos and fewer people making them. So, you know, competition's a little smaller. Some of us independent guys can, you know, maybe get a little more attention. Independent's probably not the right word because YouTube's a fairly independent platform on the whole. But, you know, some of us small-time guys nobody's ever heard of. All right, and we're just going to do a little, yeah. Right now I'm just giving, you know, a rough idea of where the black is going to be. I'm going to do that stuff in the marker. Well, pen. Ink. I guess it technically is a marker, really, even though it's a pen. But, yeah, I think I'm still just going to chalk these out a little bit. He's actually taller than I was envisioning in my head. Oh, little space boot. Wow, I really get those lopsided, don't I? See if I can fix that a bit. See, if I weren't filming right now, I would be singing while I do this, and just because songs pop into my head a lot, and I like to sing. But, yeah, I don't want, you know, YouTube to be like, hey, that's a copyrighted song you're singing. I suppose I could stick to things that are in the public domain. Yeah, Mama's little baby likes shortening bread. All right, he's going to need a flag patch on his arm there. That to kind of go behind. Or not. Kind of mess that up. All right, so I have this arm come down a little bit. Kind of still looks dog-like. I kind of like that. Sort of, to use Bob Ross's term, a happy accident. You know, I kind of want to have him holding some sort of like crazy space age pulse rifle thing. I don't know. I'll have to give that some thought. And over here, he's going to be... Haven't yet figured out what I want his hand to look like. But he's going to be holding a flag. You know, I really have no idea how loud this is because I am using my shotgun mic. I usually use from a distance. And I'm pretty close to it, but it's also not pointing directly at me. So this could either be really, really loud or... Yeah, we'll do kind of a pennant type flag. Or really, really quiet. I don't know. Again, I don't really know what I want his hands to look like, so I'm just going to do a swivel. All right, so... Kind of get his upper body turned one way and his lower body turned a different way, but that's okay. People swivel at their hips. All right, so... Now, I tend to do well with drawing mechanical type things, you know, like weaponry. However, I literally have no idea what I want this to look like. I haven't pictured this at all. And so, I don't know. Let's see. Gotta pull up something real quick on the computer. But yeah, going back to the computer limitations here, I found one free video editing software program that will run on Windows XP, and so I downloaded it and tried to run it, and it wouldn't install because it said that my computer didn't have enough memory capacity for it. So that's kind of an issue. All right, let's do this. Okay. Yeah. Okay, buddy. I'm gonna have a little bit of a thing here. Yep. Now, right now, I think I'm going to draw a smaller and simplified version of the Lancer from Gears of War. The Lancer is an extremely complicated design, which is fine. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. But I'm going to be drawing this fairly small, and so I really don't want that much detail. You know, the trick is to learn how much detail gets the idea across so that people know what you're drawing, and how much detail is unnecessary. The more detail you use, obviously, the more you really sell it. But this is interesting because I'm looking at a picture that is flipped the other way. Ordinarily, I would flip that around, but I just pulled this up real quick. So, interesting thing about the Lancer has this really oversized box magazine down here. But in front of it, it has the staple of Gears of War, the chainsaw bayonet, which I have always found humorously ridiculous. I mean, it's great for a video game, but for a real life thing, it's a little over the top, especially if you've ever actually used a chainsaw. I mean, yeah, chainsaws are nasty, nasty things that you can cause a lot of damage with, but they're not the most effective thing to be tooling around quickly in a combat scenario, let's say. So, but yeah, the other thing I was going to say, the interesting thing about it is this little grippy area right here. It is quite clear that it is inspired by the foregrip, the pump handle, I guess, of the Spas 12. Yeah. And Spas 12, for those of you who don't know it, is the famous shotgun you see in movies all the time. Not your standard pump action hunting type one that you see. But, you know, like the one that the dinosaur guy in the original Jurassic Park carried when he was hunting the velociraptors. Yeah. That one. That was a Spas 12. It's a very short shotgun. It can be fired as a pump action or as a semi-automatic. And it's a very interesting design, but they tried to sell it like it was a hunting shotgun, which it of course was not. The SPAS in SPAS stands for Sporting Purposes Auto Shotgun. but really it clearly wasn't designed for sporting purposes. The original model that came out, in addition to having a folding stock, had a hook that would come out of that would attach to the folding stock, and would and when you had the folding stock folded out straight, and you'd put the hook over your forearm, so that you could fire it one-handed around corners. It's not typically how you hunt deer. So yeah, the sporting purposes name was kind of a joke. I just think they wanted to, sell it legally and not have to deal with weapons bans. But it's not what ended up happening. Yeah, this isn't my best, but it's still good. I really like the way the Husky's head came out. I am pleasantly surprised by that. That was what I thought was going to be the real challenge of this. Yeah. I'm just going to make this an American flag. Originally, I was going to just come up with something, but yeah, he's an American Husky. Yeah, maybe I should have gone with a sickle and hammer for the Siberian Husky. But yeah. All right, let's get some lovely buttons and knobs in here. Gotta love buttons and knobs. Yeah, you need that dial pad. I was going to do 3 knobs, but I didn't give myself enough space. All right, so now I got to work out what I want to do for his hands. First things first, let's give him a thumb. And let's leave this rounded like that, so it's more paw-like. And then do a few little paw toes. There we go. And some little claws.